of our Python for Absolute Beginner series. Last video we discussed functions, and that is basically a more effective way of assigning an action item in your code. So here we have the function of square, which this is the definition of it, and in this line of code, if we run it, we'll see that this function in fact creates a square. So say that you have a square, right? It's currently running the length of 100, turning at a 90-degree angle, but say we don't want it to move 100, we want it to move 150. So currently, each time that we have a length action or code, we have to go in and change that number. So let's run that, and you'll see we get a little bit of a bigger square. So say we want it to run 165, 165, 165, 165. So currently, each time we do this, we're rewriting this code. Let's see that. We get a little bit of a bigger square. So is there a more effective way to do this? Yes, so first is we could assign a variable, and we can make, let's say we want it 200. We want a little bit bigger. And everywhere that you're having this 200 variable show up, you just replace it with n. So now, instead of having to individually change each line of code, you can just go here and change the n value. So let's run that. Perfect, a little bit bigger. Let's say we want it to be 250, right? So we're just changing it in this one line here, and it's becoming apparent in all the places where n is a value. Let's run that. Awesome, an even bigger square. But every time that we now run square, it's going to be at 250 is the length, is the how far it's going forward. So we kind of changed the definition of square. So is there a way to do this where square remains the same, but we're able to kind of give it context? So say that you have a word like kill, right? So you're saying, dude, you really killed it. You crushed it out there. You're giving it really positive connotations. But if you say, dude, you really killed that for me, I don't even find it fun anymore, that's giving it a different context. So here, the word itself, or the function, we just have square. But could it be possible to give it a context where square could be 250 in length, or square could be, 100 in length? So we just have this word, or the function of square, but could we give it a context so that it could change what it means? And the answer is yes. And we do that through arguments or parameters. By the way, anything after the hashtag in function, the code just ignores. So here, if you were to write hashtag hi, it just ignores it. But if you were to do hi, it'll give you an error because hi is not defined, right? So in Python, anything after a hashtag is ignored by the code. So what can we do to give this word some context? So we're going to go here, and we're going to create some context for it. But everywhere that we have a length, or going whenever we're commanding Turtle to go forward, we're going to assign that as length. Why it keeps spelling this wrong? There we go. Perfect. So length is, we're going to say 100. Let's run that. Awesome. So here we have the word, and then this is giving it the context. So currently, length is equal to 100. If we ever want to change that, 150, we can even, we have square, which is the same function, but we can give it a different context in a different line of code. So say we want one to go 150, then we want one to go 180, then we want another square, and we want that one to go, let's say 200. Let's run that code. Ooh, interesting. So each time that we want square to have a different context, we don't have to change the individual length here. We can just use that the same function, but change some of the arguments or parameters in it. So I hope that was explained parameters a little bit better. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.